so we moved out to LA to kind of move more into film, and because our backgrounds were always television, and then he ended up staying in television, but more as a writer. He's an hour-long writer. He's working on a show right now called Sanctuary, which is here. That's what I'm staying with, is my husband, and he's up here for 6 months, which is pretty cool. And since I was coming up to visit him, that's why we decided to do the open house, so that you guys, you know, if anybody was interested or had questions about Flash Forward, because I know sometimes it's a lot easier to come and do a little piece of something to find out about it, to see if it's appropriate, you know, for you in your careers at this time or whatever. So that's when I called, you know, Nina and Yvette and said, since I'm going to be here anyways visiting my husband for Easter, you know, do you guys want to do an open house? So I thank you guys actually for being here tonight. It really shows a lot and tells me a lot about who you are and your commitment to your career and to yourselves. Obviously, there's more than 30 people in the city of Vancouver who are in the entertainment industry, so the fact that you guys are here and in these seats, I really appreciate that, and it really is an honor to work with you. Do you know what I mean? Specifically because of that commitment. Is that clear? Good. Anyway, so my background, so I ended up not going into television like my husband. I went into film, which is why I moved to LA. And I got sidetracked at first. I went out there and I was going to start a film production company. And then what happened is I saw my husband, who was the vice president of promotions and marketing for CBS in Philly. I saw him go from somebody who was a very powerful, strong, you know, guy, able to really pitch himself at any time, be able to, you know, stand up and get any job that he wanted, to see him in Los Angeles, and I think similar in Toronto and in LA in the entertainment industry. Something different happens, I think, to us. What it is that we end up thinking that somebody else becomes responsible for our careers. No place else on the planet does that happen. But when you're in the entertainment industry, all of a sudden you've got agents, you've got managers, you've got publicists, you've got entertainment attorneys, you've got these people who kind of take on this, you know, in a sense, this false responsibility for you. And you go, oh wow, what a sigh of relief. I don't have to be responsible for my career. Isn't that fantastic? I can hand it over to somebody. And then what happens is you sit by the phone, or at least that's what happened to my husband. Is because he won the Warner Brothers, or Disney, I can't remember, the Warner Brothers sitcom competition. When we were moving out there, he got the biggest agent at William Morris. Huge. The head of television division, actually. And what happened is he sat by the phone and waited for the guy to call. And you waited, and you waited, and you waited. And I kept thinking, but this is not like you, hon. You've got like, you wrote 17 screenplays. They're sitting like, you know, in the closet, and you've got all kinds of great stuff, and you wanted to get out here and write, and this could be so exciting, and, you know, get out there and do something about it. Oh, no, I don't need to because I have an agent. And, you know, he's going to call at any time. And months went by, and then I started to notice that that was pretty much the way it was working everywhere. I met this wonderful actress, Tamara, who we became best friends. She was doing this incredible play on stage, and I met her after, and I said, oh my God, you're so incredible. You've got to be doing more movies. Oh, she said, well, that's my goal, that's why I'm here, but that's not my job. I'm going, what do you mean it's not your job? Well, I have a manager who looks after that. Well, how long have you been here? Well, I've been here about 7 years now. How many movies have you done? Well, none. But I know she's going to make it happen for me. And I kept hearing this insanity over and over again. This people relinquishing their power and putting it in the hands of somebody else. And that's when I said, I just can't, you know, I was vice president of marketing for the Atlantic Television Network and the Atlantic Satellite Network. And I went, I cannot stand around with somebody who's got a marketing and promotions background and listen to people speak like this. It was making me crazy. So then I met Heidi Wall, who also felt the way I did, and she was a marketing background person as well, and we said, well, we've got to get together and form this company called Flash Forward Institute. So what we did back then in '93, literally it was only about 3 months after I had moved there, that we started Flash Forward Institute and taught marketing and how to put yourself out there, how to market and promote yourself to people in the entertainment industry. And when I started doing the research around town, I realized nobody was doing it. Do you know there wasn't one university in all of North America in film schools and television schools that were teaching marketing? So you could be the best director on the planet, but then when you graduated from your film school, you don't know how to get out there and get yourself a job?